a tutor at Sky Academy, and we are looking at the topic of financial maths within the Year 11 standard course. We're looking at interest and depreciation within MSS2. So we're looking at GST, and GST is just the goods and services tax, which is 10%, and it's just charged on goods and services. So, for example, chocolate from the shops might have a tax, a GST tax, which is 10% of the price. So GST is just 10% of an item. So to calculate the GST, you just find 10% of the price of the item. So say it says find the GST of $10, you would just do $10 times 10%, which gives us $1. So the GST for an item that costs $10 would be $1. And this GST, this $1 in GST, will get added to the pre-tax price or the original value of the item. And so the total cost of an item will then become $11. So the consumer or the person who buys this product will pay $11, where $1 is the tax or the GST. So to calculate the total cost of an item with the GST added onto it, you can just times it by 1.1 or 110%. It's the same thing. And then to find the price of an item before the GST was added, then you divide by 1.1 or divide by 110%. So for example, if they gave us $11 and they said find the price of this item without GST, then you would just get $11 divided by 1.1. So there's 3 ways to really calculate using GST. You can just find the GST by itself, where you times by 10%. You can find the GST added to a price by either adding the 10% onto the original price or timesing by 1.1. And the last way to do a question involving GST is to find the cost of an item before GST was added, and you divide by 1.1. So let's have a go at doing an example. So it says how much GST is payable on the cost of a sports match ticket, which was $142. Then find the total cost of the sport match ticket. So to find how much GST is payable on the cost of an item, you times the item by 10%. So we're going to do 142 times 10%. And when you put that into your calculator, you should get $14.2. So the GST that's payable on $142 is $14.2 in GST. So that's part 1. Part 2 then asks us to find the total cost of the sport match ticket. And there's actually 2 ways to do part 2. The first way to do it is to add the GST that you found onto this price. So then it would be GST plus the original price. And so that would leave us with $14.02 in GST plus 142 as our original price, and that will leave us with $150 $6.20. So that's the first way to do part 2. Or the second way to do it is just times the original price by 1.1. And so if we times 142 by 1.1, it will give us 156.2. So there's the 2 different ways to find GST. So the first way to do GST is where you just times it by 10%, and that will give you GST on its own. If you then add that GST to the original price, it will give you the total cost of that item. Or you can times the original price by 1.1 to give you the total cost of the item. Total cost including GST, and then this here is GST by itself. Now the third way involving GST that we'll just quickly look at, we don't have a question for it, but it's worthwhile doing, is where you find the original price before the GST was added. So say they gave us a question where it says $156.2 including GST, find price without GST. Then you would simply do 156.2 divided by 1.1, and when you do that, it will give you $142. So that's essentially the 3 kind of 4, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3. The different ways to do questions involving GST. Calculate GST by itself, calculate the total cost including GST, and thirdly, finding the price before GST was added. And just remember that in the second one, where you find the total cost including GST, there's 2 ways to do it. And so in summary, we have got a slide here that explains the 3 different ways to do it. So this is find 10% of an item to find GST, and then you can add the GST to the original price to get the total cost of a price including GST, or you can just times by 1.1 to get the total cost of an item including GST, and then you can divide by 1.1 to get the original price before GST was added.